Hey, church, it's John here. If you are following along with our 5 by 5 by 5 Bible study, you should be today on Mark chapter 7. Let's talk a little bit about Mark 7 today. We've just come out of Jesus's interactions, of course, in Mark chapter 6 yesterday, where Jesus talks about how a prophet doesn't have honor in his hometown. He sends out the disciples for ministry. We read about John the Baptist being beheaded. We end this story with the feeding of the 5,000. Jesus is teaching and takes the loaves and fishes. It's a great story. In Mark chapter 7, we find something very different. We find Jesus first being debated with the Pharisees. They are upset that Jesus is not giving out instructions about cleanliness and uncleanliness like they've been accustomed to. It's a huge debate for the people of Israel that day. Jesus begins to talk to them about how it's not what you put in your body that comes and makes you unclean. It's what comes out. It's the condition of your heart. Jesus then finds himself trying to get away from that setting, and he finds himself traveling through, trying to find some rest. It tells us that he's traveling, and he's trying to make his presence kind of a secret so that he's not bombarded, and he finds himself interacting with a Syrophoenician woman. And I'd like for us to think about some of the things connected to this Syrophoenician woman today. First, notice that this woman had a problem. She had a daughter who was possessed by a demon. We don't know all the details, but it's obvious that she had been trying for some time to get this demon out of her daughter. She came, and verse 25 tells us that she fell at his feet. She was out of options, and she was tired, and she knew that Jesus could do something about it, and so she fell at his feet. Friends, our posture in prayer matters. There are moments where, in my life, and I'm sure yours too, I have nothing left to do. I have nothing left to give. And finally, all I can do is fall at the feet of Jesus. And there are many times where that is exactly what I should have done in the first place. This woman just turns it over to him. And I wonder how many times in our lives that we could assume the same posture, and in fact, a lot quicker than we normally do. You don't have to be out of options to fall to the feet of Jesus. You don't have to be at the end of your rope. In fact, our first response should be falling to the feet of our Lord and saying, what can you do about this thing? Perhaps you've been praying about something. There's something in your life that you need God's help with. Would you make falling at his feet not your last stand, but your first action? Because we see in this story that when she fell at the feet of Jesus, everything changed. Also notice that this woman approached Jesus despite what the world told her she should or should not do. Jesus has this exchange where he says to the woman, you shouldn't take the children's food and give it to the dogs. Jesus isn't calling this woman a dog. What he's pointing out is that according to the thoughts of the day, this Greek Syrophoenician woman wasn't even of the house of Israel. She did not have the privilege in the world's eyes of sitting with Jesus. Jesus was the Messiah for the Jews. He was the King of the Jews. She's not a Jew. He came to restore the house of Israel. She's not the house of Israel. Jesus is like, according to some people, you don't even belong at the table. And friends, we live in a world where many times people will tell us why we don't deserve to have healing, why we don't deserve to have the presence of Jesus. You made this mess yourself. You're not holy enough. You made this mess. Why would God bail you out? Friends, we're told why we don't even deserve a seat at God's table, and we have two choices. Either, like this woman, we could say, I don't belong with this Jewish Messiah, and let that be a reason to push her away from the presence of God. But instead, she comes closer to Jesus, understanding in humility that she needs his help. I don't deserve your help, God. I don't deserve your help, Jesus, but I'm here anyway. Friends, our hearts need humility when we approach Jesus. Notice the third thing, and this is really important, I think, for me and where I'm at in my life today. We live in an entitled world. We are told that we deserve the best of everything. We are told that we need all of the absolute best things, and you fight and you fight and you fight for your right to have the best, right? And our children are taught that, and we're taught that whatever you do, if somebody isn't, if somebody's not giving you the absolute best, and you work hard till you get the best. This woman just asked for crumbs. She said, crumbs will do it, Jesus. You are so powerful. Your kingdom is so good that if you just give me a crumb, I'm just asking for a crumb, God. There are times, friends, where we just need to come to Jesus in this humility and say, Jesus, whatever you got, whatever you feel fit. Jesus, if you want to give me the absolute best, every wonderful thing, if you want to give me my heart's desire, then meet it. But Jesus, if my desires need to change, if what I want needs to change, God, a crumb from your table is better than everything the world has to offer. And that's really where this woman was by the end of the story, right? She says, she's not saying, Jesus, let me at the table. She's not saying, Jesus, give me the steak. She's saying, Jesus, give me a crumb, because a crumb from you will change my life. And so maybe today that needs to be our prayer, is just, God, whatever you have to give, don't let me come with expectations. Don't let me come entitled. But God, if a crumb is what you need, if a crumb is what you from your kingdom will fix this situation, then let me take a crumb, because I know a crumb can heal me, and a crumb can make this situation go. And at the end of the story, it is the woman's persistence. It's her willingness to meet where she does. It's her willingness to push back against the entitlement of her day and meet with Jesus. And at the end, verse 28, she went home and found her child lying on the bed, and the demon was gone. Jesus did it all because of her faithfulness, because of her posture, because of her humility and her dependence on him. And so might we be known for the same things today as you join together in prayer. Thanks, church. God bless.